Hello, guitar enthusiasts of every stripe and description. It is I, Steve, your old pal, the original Guitar Nut, and welcome to Guitar Nuts Anonymous. Now, it's been a couple of weeks. I've been really busy, so this is just going to be kind of a short check-in to let you know what's been up, talk about a little guitar world news, what's new in my personal guitar life, and to tell you what's coming. So, what's in the news? Well, let's see. Sweetwater had its Gear Fest last week. That looks like it's poised to replace the NAMM show as the guitar and all things music trade show. NAMM is, way down in popularity, I guess you'd say. And the Sweetwater thing is huge, even though it's mostly online. But they had tons of YouTubers there, doing reviews and playing games, and all the various high-end gear manufacturers were there showing all things. Fender was there, and Fender wasn't even at the NAMM show. They were at Sweetwater. So not bad for a little, store, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Started out as just a small thing. So that's interesting. What else is new? One thing that was introduced is there is now a Paul Reed Smith version of a Telecaster. I'm not excited about it, but a lot of people are. Apparently a bunch of YouTubers got sent them because I've already seen a dozen different reviews in the works or posted. So that's a big deal. They've got both a standard version and a Miles Kennedy signature version for those of you that are into Alter Bridge. Yeah, that guy. Mark Tremonti's sidekick. I guess it was a design that he helped come up with. I don't know. But if you're into $3,000 Telecaster similar guitars, then hey, it might be just the thing you've been waiting for. Warm Audio, company that's been famous for coming out with clones of classic discontinued pedals, such as the Foxtone fuzz and things of that nature. They've just come out with both the ODD, which is an OCD full-tone replica, and a replica of the Maestro Phaser, classic multi-stage phase pedal. They're, big form factor, but they're pretty true to the originals. I guess the circuits are basically identical to the originals. And you can't get the originals anymore unless you shell out a big chunk of coin and find them, on Reverb or something. And not only have they brought them out in a pretty authentic form, but they're only like $150, which is, a fraction of the price of an original. And they're probably a whole lot more stable and reliable. So if you're into vintage type effects pedals and things, I know a lot of you out there are, I kind of am, then that might be something you want to look at, Warm Audio. And if I can remember, maybe I'll put a link to that down here below. Let's see, was there anything else big that's been popping up? Can't think of anything off the top of my head. I know that Warm Audio thing was big enough that both Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum and my man Phil McKnight from the Know Your Gear channel, my personal favorite channel, my personal favorite YouTuber, they've both done a somewhat in-depth review of those Warm Audio pedals, so that's kind of cool. By all means, check out 60 Cycle Hum and Know Your Gear, the Phil McKnight channel. Great viewing. They always entertain me. Speaking of me, I put out a video a couple of weeks back showing my SQUIER Paranormal Series Rascal bass, and it got to date more views than anything else I've ever posted, which is really cool. A lot of people, I guess, were waiting for this thing to come out. I've already used it for a couple of gigs, and maybe I should do a follow-up video talking about that, but spoiler alert, it's great. I have no complaints whatsoever. It's a wonderful bass, and for like $450, or in my case, $400, since I went to Fender.com directly and bought it, as those of you who are viewing before would know, I got it for just over $400 with free shipping. Amazing. The other Paranormals are selling well, as I understand, especially the 12-string Jazzmaster. selling like hotcakes, just like I, predicted it would. So, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll even put a link to that down below. The paranormal series SQUIERS. Why not, right? Cost me nothing. I don't benefit anything from it. But then, if I'm honest, I don't benefit anything financially from this channel at all yet. Maybe one day. Who knows? We're over 400 viewers now, so that means we're only, 2.5 times that to go before it actually amounts to the chance to monetize. But whatever. We're a good 400 people, John Lennon once said that telling the truth won't get you a lot of friends, but it'll get you the right ones. So that's that. What else would I want to tell you about? Oh, speaking of SQUIERS, I bought another SQUIER that I've done an unboxing video for that I haven't shared yet because I also wanted to use it for a gig and then do like a full in-depth video with the unboxing and, the in-depth thing. So it's right here in this genuine Fender Custom Shop Strat case, which cost approximately 3 times the price of the guitar. I got it cheap in a trade on Facebook Marketplace, of course, the case. But here it is, just to show you. This is one of the SQUIER Sonic Series Esquire H's. I used it for a gig with my band, Ray Gun, and it, spoiler alert, it performed flawlessly. The pickup isn't the most interesting in the world, doesn't have the most character, but hey, it more than gets the job done. And for, what, $199? I don't know what else you're going to find anywhere near this quality, unless you get really lucky on something from, Amazon, which there are a few things out there, but I think this is going to be one of the key buys of the year, especially come holiday time. As I said before, these things are going to sell like crazy, and in my experience having played it on the gig, it's worth every penny. So yeah, so let me put that away. Now, speaking of things that cost a whole lot of money that I did get, I'd mentioned a while back that I was having a kind of a gear acquisition syndrome or guitar acquisition syndrome for a Gretsch Malcolm Young guitar because he's one of my favorite guitar players. I'm mostly a rhythm player, and he's for years had a signature of his original 1963 Gretsch Jet Firebird that he modified over the years, took out one of the pickups, added an extra pickup that he took out, left the open holes, plugged all the switch holes with some kind of brass or chrome furniture tacks, and it's called the Beast, and it's really interesting. But rather than that, what I wanted was that guitar as it would have been in its original state, which is offered by Gretsch more or less. It is a 1962 reissue, but it comes with a Bigsby vibrato, which is a little different. And so I kind of was coveting one of those. But my local store, which is Nashville New and Used Music, got in one of the latest iterations of the actual Malcolm Young signature, which is called the Red Beast, which was what Malcolm's guitar looked like right after he got it from either his brother or his brother's partner that were in the band the Easy Beats together. And he immediately put a Gibson humbucker in between the original Gretsch pickups. And that guitar became legendary as later on he eventually took 2 of the 3 pickups out, stripped to finish, blah, blah, blah. Everyone has seen it. But I saw that iconic first version that you can see in the AC/DC It's a Long Way to the Top video. But anyway, enough talking about it. Here one is. And they're listing it, I think, $3,399. And I've got one. And no, it's not a Chinese fake. It's the real deal. How did I do that? Well, I actually traded one of my vintage guitars, my few true vintage guitars for it, to that store, Nashville New and Used Music. And It was a guitar that I'd been hanging on to far too long, even though I didn't play it, just because it was vintage, and I knew eventually it would be worth a lot of money, and blah, blah, blah. Bottom line, this is what I wanted. That guitar's gone, this guitar's here. I absolutely love this. I just used this with the band ray gun for a private corporate gig. It performed flawlessly, as you would hope it would for a $3,400 guitar. But yeah, this is something I could never have owned if I had to actually pay for it versus do a trade. I mean, I guess I could have sold off a couple of dozen things, but you know what I'm trying to say. So here it is, the Gretsch. I believe it's model 3191 GMY Red Beast. And I couldn't be more tickled with this bad boy. It's just a wickedly cool guitar. And to put it in perspective, since I've got this guitar a little over a month ago, a day hasn't gone by that I haven't found time to come here into the studio and play it, which is huge for me because far too much time normally passes without me playing because of, you know, life, work, family, household things, dealing with the pets, whatever it is. And that guitar has rekindled my love affair with guitars in general. So it was definitely a good deal, and a month on, I still haven't missed the vintage guitar that I traded off. So I'd say I made the right choice, and both guitars will continue to appreciate in value with time, I imagine, so whatever. No regrets here. Another piece of personal news, the rig I'd been using with ray gun, which is a pedal board with a Strymon Iridium as my main amplifier sounds, and a FR cabinet, has started to develop some issues. I haven't exactly figured out what's going on with it, but it's a lot of noise and it's not behaving the way I wanted. So kind of out of desperation, in a hurry, you know, I guess I could have wired up several of my little Fender Mustang amps together or something and tried to use that, or, you know, hauled out my beloved Ibanez TSH 15 heads, but I wanted a combo to use for this corporate gig. And somebody locally had one of these Boss Katana 50 Mark IIs for a ridiculously cheap price. It was $100. I had just sold off one of my cheap parts Strats that I'd been trying to get rid of. Had the $100 handy, went and got it, and I have to say, speaking of Best Buy pieces of gear, yeah, all the hype you've probably seen over I realize I'm late to the party. Everybody knows the Boss Katana series is great, right? Well, my friend David Harvard told me about them. He's got one of these and sang its praises. And on his recommendation, I went and picked this one up for that $100. And man, does this thing punch above its weight class. Brand new, it's only $269. Wonderful amp, great tones, portable, plenty loud enough to play with a band. Again, something I can recommend wholeheartedly if you've seen them, you know, especially if you can get one super cheap like I did. They come in bigger sizes. They've got different versions. They can all be hooked up to your computer via USB, and you can download new sounds in them and things. I haven't done any of that. I'm just using it via the front panel and getting great sounds. It works great with my pedal board. I basically have a sound setup making it sound pretty much like a Marshall Plexi. Clean but powerful, just at the verge of breakup, and then I use my pedal board with it. And I've totally got me through this last gig, and I'll probably use it for the next gig as well. So that's the Guitar Nuts Anonymous stamp of approval. I'll have to come up with some kind of a TV stinger for that or something for the show. But it gets definitely, the Boss Katana series gets my stamp of approval, as does the, you know, SQUIER Sonic series, the SQUIER Paranormal series, and of course, virtually anything made by Gretsch Japan. fact, probably anything from Gretsch Japan is fantastic. Which isn't to malign the stuff made by Gretsch Korea, Gretsch Indonesia, or Gretsch China, because in my experience, they've all been better than their price tags would suggest. And that's really what it comes down to, isn't it? You know, what you can afford and what it's worth to you. And so yeah, that's really all I have to say. Like I said, I wanted to make this kind of a short video. The next thing you'll be getting from me will be that in-depth unboxing and review of the SQUIER Sonic Series H. Basically a single pickup Telecaster. And that'll be coming very soon. I don't have a whole lot more else to say, honestly. Things have been busy, but good busy. I have no complaints about that. Tonight I will be doing a side gig collecting rented towels from the Kid Rock show at the local amphitheater. That's a long story. And if Kevin's watching, thanks Kevin. Sorry about the ape arms. But slight inside joke there. But anyway, until next time I see you, as I always say, this is Steve signing off. Stay cool, stay frosty. Be good to yourself and others. And for crying out loud, play the damn guitar. Till next time I see you, Steve out.